So if your organization doesn't yet have a Google Workspace account, I highly suggest you get started because you can do amazing things with it with artificial intelligence, and not just Workspace, but the entire Google Cloud platform. For example, Inspira's water platform has deep integrations with Google Workspace as well as Google Cloud, and I'm going to show you a couple examples right now. But in particular, there's an integration with Google Drive, Gmail, Google Meet, Calendar, Docs, and Sheets. And what the integration allows you to do is to delegate work to your AI assistant that we refer to as a sidekick, and that AI assistant can then utilize these Google Workspace tools to generate actual work product for your organization. And it's really quite amazing. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration first of the security layers. There's multiple layers of security. First at the company level, as a corporate administrator, you'd be able to come in and turn these various Google configurations on or off at the company level. And if you turn them off at the company level, nobody has access. If you turn them on at the company level, you still have granular control at the user level. So let's just go take a look at the user level. Let's take a look down here, take a look at one of these users. And you can see down here under integrations where you can turn integrations on or off. This is for an individual user. And when they're off, of course, the AI assistants cannot get access and can't do anything with them. But when they're on, even when they're on, the individual user still has to go and authenticate. And let me show you how that works. Up here to integrations, and you can see I've already got linked with these services here. I'm just going to link up Google Drive so you can see how it works. And now we have successfully authenticated the Google Drive, which means my user sidekick, my AI assistant, can access my Google Drive. It can create files for me. It can create work product. So reports, financial statements, really literally anything you can imagine. It's really quite versatile. Let's take a look at how sidekicks can leverage Google Workspace tools inside Inspira's water platform. So let's head over to a task. Here we have a task set up called Update Conversion Flow. It's about conversion rate optimization. Don't worry about the details. Let's just scroll down. We're going to create an action item, this button right here. And don't worry if you're not familiar with this process. I'm just going to demonstrate the integration at the moment. So I'm going to paste in this information. I'm going to call the action item Describe CRO. I'm going to assign it to my sidekick. I'm going to make this active. And these are the instructions right here. Describe a step-by-step approach for conversion rate optimization for a consulting firm. Place the information in a Google Doc. Create a new subfolder called CRO Strategy under the task folder. Up above, you might have noticed, there was a task folder designated inside Google Drive. And the sidekicks are aware of these task folders. And so we're asking them here to create a subfolder and then to store the, actually I forgot to say that, let me say store the file in the new subfolder, and then send me the link to both the folder and the Google Doc when done. So we'll just create task action, and the task will be delegated to the sidekick, and it'll go to work in the background, and when it's done, it'll report back. It is real time, but a task like this probably take a minute or two due to the configurations, or rather the manipulations it needs to do behind the scenes with the files and folders and whatnot. And while it's working, let's head over to another interface, and I'll give you another sneak peek at something else. So we're back to the integrations manager, and if we click this agent right here, this add agent button, this gives you the ability to add agents and workflows from external systems. So if you've got workflows created in N8N or Make.com or MCP servers, or anything created with the agent development kit or in Vertex, you can add it here. For example, I'll just paste in a known URL of an application. This is hosted on Google Cloud Platform. It's an agent that was built with Google Vertex AI. And it is a very simple agent. All it does is answer questions about the SmartBench software package. And so it's a manual, but it's an agent that can answer questions about the manual. And adding this right here, you just add a bearer token, create the agent skill. I won't do this right now, but you create the agent skill, and then your sidekicks can then get access to it selectively. Okay, they have to still be authenticated or authorized to use the skill. So if you had skills like a payroll skill, obviously you wouldn't want to give that to everybody. But we have a payroll skill built into the system, and you can delegate payroll to the sidekick, and it'll do several hours worth of work in literally minutes. So it's really quite remarkable. So any agent or workflow you'd like to build in the Google Cloud Platform, any kind of automation, anything like that, anything at all, really, if you can create an endpoint for it and authenticate it, create some form of security around it, you can add it here as an agent, and then you can delegate work to it in natural language, because you're delegating work to your sidekick, and the sidekick understands human language. You can talk to it like a human, and it will then regenerate your natural human instructions in a way that the A to A agent, in this case, can understand it and delegate work to it. And then when the A to A agent comes back with the payload, with the response, then the sidekick will then take that response from the agent, and it'll once again interpret it into human language, and then deliver it back to the user. So what the user gets is a full-on human-to-human user experience, and it doesn't matter how technical these agents and workflows are in behind the scenes, they're all obfuscated. Once the sidekick has completed the work, it'll report back up here into the inbox. Let's just go take a look, and there it is. And you can see a preview of the message here, and then you can dive in to it to see if it's a long message. You might want to head inside. And so here, number one, the task is complete. Here's the links you requested, a link to the Google Doc, and a link to the subfolder. Let's take a look at the subfolder that it created. Yep, there's the subfolder, and there's the document inside, just like we asked. And it is inside the task folder, just like we asked. So let's take a look at the output. So what we see here is the sidekick using Google Docs integration and the Google Drive integration in order to perform real-world work. So if your team is still on the fence about getting them onboarded onto the Google Workspace program, I highly suggest you do that, because it's just amazing what kind of productivity you can generate, especially when you're using it with Inspira's water platform and the sidekicks.